I'm Ann Hamburger from Aido Network International. Hope you're keeping safe. Welcome to Aido Network International Business and Prosperity Forum 2020, brought to you by Aido Network International and Raya TV Kenya. In this segment, we have Ambassador Julius Moto of Uganda High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and Ireland, talking to us about how Africa can partner in business and prosperity. Thank you and welcome.
President of Aido Network International, honorable speakers, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to speak at the Aido Network, working together with African Chamber of Commerce in Scandinavia. As you're aware, ladies and gentlemen, the African Continental Free Trade Area that was created by African Continental Free Trade Agreement among 54 of the 55 African Union nations is poised to become the largest free trade area in the world. Its secretariat is in Accra, in Ghana, and it was launched or commissioned and handed over to the African Union by the President of Ghana on August 2020. The ACFTS shall become a reality if Africans begin to trade with each other. This is the problem. What I've grayed here, Africans are not trading with one another. Yeah. If you do not trade with one another, you cannot share value coming from trade. Trade figures show that the trade among African countries are so low. And the objectives of the African Continental Free Trade Area is to address the low trade volume among African states. The low trade volumes resulted from non-tariff barriers, including red tapes in government institutions and insufficient infrastructure that affect sustained production and logistics. Trade barriers remain so high in many African countries. It is almost impossible to move from one African country to another. The African Continental Free Trade Area is poised to solve the bottlenecks through regional economic communities that we believe are critical, and they are important building blocks towards mutual market unification of Africa, where natural persons, me and you, and your business partners can move freely within Africa and without hindrances. Economic communities such as the East African Community, ECOWAS in West Africa, SADC, these are the building blocks we are talking about. Without the successes of these blocks, the African Continental Free Trade Area may remain a dream. Uganda subscribes to the East African Community, and it is also a member of the COMESA. The EAC is in advanced stages in negotiating a market union after a successful implementation of the customs union. We believe that independent trading states in each African region, working on their own, they have limited trade and investment opportunities due to sparse population with low purchasing power, high tariffs, and a lot of non-tariff barriers. You will note that no country benefits from such trade policies. Cooperating member states in a customs union, and better still, in a market union, have proven to benefit even the smallest trading partner in the union. The African Continental Free Trade Area shall be fast-tracked on the basis of successful customs union of regional economic blocs in Africa. I already told you Uganda is a member. of EAC and COMESA. And in effect, Uganda has reviewed its trade and investment policies, and it has harmonized them with cooperating member states in tandem with international law regarding trade, finance, and investments. Uganda cherishes standard ways of doing business, just like any other countries in the world. You cannot just wake up to do business in Uganda. You have to follow the law of Uganda, and you do it our way. To do business in Uganda, and I believe many African countries, you have to do the following. An investor is required by law to do 8 steps. Number 1, you have to form a company in Uganda. You can do this online via this website I've colored in yellow. This is the official government website that allows you to submit your documents online to reduce the spread of COVID-19. This is number 1. Without a legal status in Uganda, you cannot do business in Uganda. And I believe it is everywhere where you live and work. Can you do business in Germany or in UK or in USA without a legal status? You can't. Secondly, you have to apply for a company tax identification number, what is called TIN. You can do this online via this website, which I upgrade. And these are official government websites. You need to send into that portal I've showed you a brief business proposal of the project, which is new, which you have to submit. Give us the executive summary, the product description, the market analysis, the human resources plan, because you will need this, the human resources plan and projection, by way of requesting for work permits for some of your technical personnel come and help you to set up the company in Uganda. If you are facing language problems, we recommend the use of Makerere University School of Languages. These guys are very good in translating languages from English to your language you are comfortable with, and any language. Number 4, you need to have funds. You need investors with money. Yeah? You need to show us proof of your financing for the project, which could be a bank statement for the company you have registered in Uganda. For domestic investors, the threshold has been $50,000. Of course, we have not been so strict on domestic investors. Even with $1,000, you can invest in Uganda. We don't mind because you are a Ugandan. But for foreigners, the requirement is this steep. You need at least $250,000, which should be shown by way of bank statement for the company you're talking about. Number 5, you need proof of location of the project. All development take place on land, and you need to attach a copy of the land title or a tenancy agreement to confirm the location of the project in Uganda. Location is very important so that we know where you're operating. Number 6 is very interesting. I've put it in yellow. You need a bank account in Uganda, a business bank account in Uganda, in full compliance with anti-money laundering laws. The customer in Uganda is expected to file electronic copies of the following documents: passport, national identification cards for shareholders, utility bills as proof of address. These are statutory documents Yeah? These are statutory documents that all banks in Uganda require for you to open a bank account and operate an account in Uganda. Ugandans living in diaspora who have private accounts in Uganda, you are advised to send by registered post. I believe in registered post via DHL or whatever, to your banks in Uganda, the documents that identify you with the accounts you hold in Uganda. This is very important, and Ugandan banks have been very reluctant to follow to the letter the processes of knowing their customers. So this is not a new thing. This is something which has been going on. All countries do this. So we should also do this in tandem with international law of knowing your customer. Even in the UK here where I work, you have to provide documents that prove that you are the owner of that account, and you periodically have to show them sources of your income on that account. I do this from time to time. So Ugandans are urged to comply. Number 7, in exceptional cases, you may be required to provide a bill of lading to confirm importation of plant and machinery. If you are not importing plant and machinery, this one comes much later. If you're not importing plant and machinery, you don't need to provide the bill of lading. Number 8, you will require regulatory licenses. For example, if you are going to set up your business in Sorority, there's what is called local government trading licenses. These are periodic licenses that local government require you to have. The other document that you need is certified approval of environmental assessment. If you're putting up a factory, you need what is called an environmental impact assessment report. This should be approved by NEMA. You cannot set up a factory without approval from NEMA. There are certain categories of businesses that require special licenses for regulatory purposes. These are energy generation. You cannot set up a green solar farm to generate solar to supply the national grid unless your actions have been approved by energy regulatory authority. Mining, banking, insurance, air transportation, sugar manufacturing, sports betting, and manufacturing of drugs. You need special licenses. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda is truly blessed by nature, and there are a lot of lucrative opportunities in agriculture, mining, ICT, oil and gas, tourism, real estate, health and education sector, logistics, art and cultural businesses. As long as you comply with the documentation processes above, you're good to go. Allow me to note that the economy of Uganda went belly up during the 1970s. Uganda was not able to pay its debts and became heavily indebted by the late 1990s. Under the EPIC initiatives, most debts of Uganda were forgiven, and she embarked on economic reforms that included liberalization of the economy to 100%. The economy of Uganda is 100% fully liberalized. With prudent fiscal and financial policies, inflation rates dropped from 105% or maybe more in 1985 to 10%, and it has remained in single digits to date for over 30 years, actually over 34 years. With a sustained growth projection of gross domestic product averaging 6% per year, after rising from negative 3% of growth in 1984-1985 period. Things were bad, but we have recovered and we are recovering. At the backdrop of peace and stability that we have enjoyed under the leadership of President Museveni, Uganda urges Ugandans in diaspora to invest in their motherland in order to create jobs for Ugandans and make money and expand the tax base with which we use to develop our country. We call upon all Africans in diaspora to do the same in their respective motherlands. It's the only way we can develop Africa, through educated citizens making good partnership wherever they are to invest in Africa, to create jobs and expand the tax base and make money. There's money to be made in Africa, ladies and gentlemen. A continent with over 1.2 billion people. These are consumers. They are hungry for your products. And as I said, we should start to trade more with one another than ever before. And that is only when Africa can be described as being ready for business and can partner with any person in the world. We need business partners more than ever before. I thank you for listening to me. God bless you.
Thank you, Ambassador Julius Moto, for your advice. Everyone, you have heard that Africa is a big consumer with over 1.2 billion people. Yes, we should partner and trade with one another. Thank you.